I've changed from sort of a more constructive way of making paintings, a very procedural way, which was with the Zuhanden series. That series was 2013 to 2018, to a little bit more, I still have a lot of process involved, like, you know, steps A through Z or whatever, but I'm incorporating a different medium, which is water-soluble oil paints, and a lot more, I would say, painterly process, especially in the later phases of making a painting. And what I liked when I started with the water solubles was the surface quality. To me, they just lend themselves to these sort of hard edge paintings because they just really absorb the light instead of reflecting it. And that's what I really like about them. Scale, I think, for me, has something to do with the aesthetics of a piece. It has something to do with the balance of the composition and how that physical object is going to address the human when they're looking at that piece. I don't want to depict an aesthetic experience. I want to create an aesthetic experience. But the variation in scale, so the smaller pieces, are something I'm trying to do because the oil paintings take a lot of mixing of paint and using of materials, and they're much slower in their development. I am creating these smaller works as really a more meditative experience for myself and a way to use the paints and the materials that I'm using in a little bit different way. So those have actually taken longer to develop. I've gone through lots of iterations. Like, one was these mandalas. I thought mandalas would be like simple and easy, but of course I can make anything hard. And then really out of frustration, I just started putting gradients on these smaller ones to see what would happen. And then that became layering of gradient, sanding, putting like a grid over them. And again, it always seems like I come back to process. I don't know why. It just, as much aesthetic as I try to put in the work, and as important as composition and balance and color balance and instinct are there, it seems like I tend to always bring process back into it. So I sometimes feel frustrated in the studio or frustrated with the pursuit of art, but I think generally I feel really grateful to be doing this. I think a lot of artists feel that way, but I don't know. That sounds kind of cheesy, but I just feel grateful. Yeah, that's all.